linked up back with another podcast. It's been a minute. We have Modey and Taha, the owners of Pure Branding. What's up, y'all?
What's good, yo?
It's a Friday. How you guys feeling?
Amazing.
Friday's the best day of the week, let me tell you.
Hell yeah.
So y'all built a massive company. It's an umbrella company. You had an entertainment part. You had a marketing part. You got all different types of the company. So I know you guys came from nothing. And let me tell you, I got to give it up to you because you've came a long way. And what you guys are doing right now, working with celebrities. And I remember you telling me you did the X Tour merch and all that shit. How did you guys start?
I started in 2017. I mean, where we're at now, we're an all-in-one digital marketing, brand development, and clothing manufacturer. We're called the one-stop shop. People come to us for all their branding and marketing needs, as well as we can actually make the clothing. We actually did not start in this lane, though. We were always big into branding and marketing, but we started off as a clothing line named Pocket Star. And that
Pocket
was,
Star.
Yeah, so it was a clothing line where it was like celebrity clothing. Every pocket t-shirt had a cartoon face of your favorite celebrity. You know, I was a graphic designer at the time, so just a way for me to express my art and, you know, just thought I was doing something different. Didn't really think of, you know, I just graduated high school, so.
You were in high school creating this company?
Yeah, so in 2017. I graduated in 2016. I graduated, and then I was like, do I want to go to college? What do I want to do? I didn't really know what I wanted to do yet, so I started just putting out my designs on these T-shirts just for fun. And, yeah, so that's the gist of it. Pocket Star, within a month of us actually launching the company, you know, shout out to DJ Scheme, Juice WRLD, and XXXTentacion's DJ. He linked me up with X, and they X brought me on stage for a show, put the shirt on, and then he ended up endorsing that product as an official part of his tour merchandise.
That's crazy. So what was the feeling like working with X?
Man, it was amazing, man. Shout out X, long live X, man. He was.
I see so much things on TikTok right now about like the people that killed X, and you know there's a whole trial going on. Yeah. You see that?
Yeah, I see that. There's some crazy shit going on, man. Man, he get the justice that he deserves for sure.
Yeah, he was a genuine individual.
Hell yeah, bro. I mean, he looked at me straight in the eyes and was like, man, the whole story of that day was just crazy, but we're not going to get into that, you know, but it was lit, though. It was lit. All I know is I came to that show, you know, at a very starting point. Like, I had nothing to my name. All I had was this shirt, and I was planning on just giving my last $200 at the time to DJ Scheme for him to wear the shirt after the show. But how it worked out was DJ Scheme actually had something else in mind, and he introduced me. He showed the picture to X, and X was like, tell him to come through. So they brought me on stage. This was like July 2017. They brought me on stage. He wore the shirt. You know, he gave me a hug on stage. He looked at me eye to eye and told me that shit is dope, bro. He like got to know me a little bit, like what do you do type shit. So I told him, I was honest with him, you know. Told him dude, this is all I got, like my clothing line. You know, I just pretty much I got to keep my $200, and I walked out of there with XXXTentacion connecting me with his manager and officially endorsing the shirt. And from there, it went on their tour. So it went from a brand that started in a garage within, like, it took me about 6 months to build the brand, but within a month of actually launching it and leaving it out for purchase, XXXTentacion took it as a part of his official tour merchandise for the remainder of the Revenge Tour in 2017.
How did you come up with money to fund the company within those 6 months?
This is crazy. So, you know, my parents, you know, thank God we always had food on the table, but they were in no position to invest in my business, or, you know, we didn't have anything really. So, you know, I thought what I could do, I went and got the quickest job I could get, which was being a dishwasher.
Wow, so dishwasher?
I humbled myself, man. Shit. I knew that I was dedicated to my vision. I knew that I believed in myself, and I was like, screw it. If I'm gonna, I have to get a job. And I was like, let me get the quickest job that can give me the most hours as possible. I'm trying to pump out, get as much money as I can in this short month. So I only worked as a dishwasher for a month, like pretty much 6 days a week, 9 a.m. to midnight.
9 a.m. to midnight.
Yeah, I was working crazy hours, bro. This lady, my boss, man, God bless her, but she was overworking me.
Y'all
like
were
crazy.
living together, right?
Yeah. A lot of times when you have a brand or a vision, a lot of people around you and like your friends, my friends from high school, my family, nobody believed in it at first. Like everybody was kind of just like, Tah's doing his own thing, like Pocket Star, like laughing about it type shit. Like dude, go to college. Like that's what people were telling me. And then you're always gonna get that type of backlash. And me, I was just like, I just kept seeing these visions in my head of like Kanye West wearing the pocket tee and like McLarens and just this lavish lifestyle. And I was like, oh hell no, I'm doing this shit. I don't give a fuck. So it was just me and me. And then the moment the XXXTentacion rocked that shit, man, everybody everybody was like for it and for the vision and like believing it, man. I was kind of just like, okay, I see what happened there, but still, you know, I just accepted it. I know how some people were, but everybody accepted it.
But it happened kind of fast, like 6 months.
Yeah.
Six
well,
months.
It was really 1 month from launching it. So people didn't even know it existed except for if you knew me type shit, you know? So it happened within really a month of launching the brand.
How much money did you guys make in the first year?
Of Pocket Star?
Yeah.
Shit, it's kind of hard
after
to pin.
the tour and all that. How much you guys?
It's hard to pin a good number, but the first year of 2017, just off of like after getting done with X's tour, you know, I came home with like $23,000, and I was just like, I just went from working a whole month, making $2,000, and investing all of it into my company, 50 shirts, more than shirts, like 200 shirts, and like a screen press to just print stuff in my garage. And then I came back with $23,000.
So you invested $2,000 into a company, didn't even know what the fuck you were doing. You're just like, whatever, I'm just gonna send it, and then came home a couple months later with $20,000.
Hell yeah! I mean, I was always like, I mean, it's not like I just came in like with my eyes closed. From a business point of view, yeah, but I always had a very, very good mind in branding and marketing, and like I had a lot of experience before Pocket Star with other companies and just like, you know, design and branding and marketing. So
you were doing it before you were 19.
Yeah.
Branding and marketing.
Yeah, hell yeah. I mean, like to an extent, you know, very, very low level, but like as in, you know, like I would work with certain vape shops and like certain like different clothing brands making some designs, but getting paid very little, like pretty much as a freelance graphic designer.
Okay,
you know? Yes, that's what I was first. That's like the very basis. Started Pocket Star. The pivotal moment after XXXTentacion endorsing it was 3 months later. It's crazy, it's a small world, but at the time, XXXTentacion was very kind of linked in with Smoke Perp because they kind of blew up out of the same city, same era. So X's manager also had, or one of X's team members, they had some sort of connection with Smoke Perp. He's like, yo, dude, you should make something for Smoke Perp. If, you know, I could get him to fuck with it. So I was like, okay, cool. So I'm like Googling and doing my research, and I was like, Smoke Perp.
Smoke Perp.
Yeah, man, so you
got connected with Smoke Perp.
Yeah, Smoke Perp. I Googled his name, and I was like, it's actually crazy. That's what I thought was going to happen. I Googled his name, tour, and then nothing came up. So I was like, what is his manager even talking about? And then I found out that Post Malone was actually going on tour with Smoke Perp as the opener.
Oh, okay.
So that's when I was like, oh, okay. I always like to break boxes. I made the Smoke Perp shirt, but I also made the Post Malone shirt. So when I pulled up and his X's team member introduced me to Smoke Perp, you know, I gave him a t-shirt, and, you know, it was cool. He was good vibes, but at the same time, I could tell, like, I don't know, something was off. Like, I could tell he was, like, trying to charge me type shit to wear it. And I was like, dude, X just, you know, he didn't really see the vision. So, but I was like, okay, luckily I brought the Post Malone shirt with me. So I went into the green room and introduced myself to Post Malone's manager, Post Malone. And Post Malone was a super genuine dude. Shout out Posty. Man, he loved it. He rocked it. He wore it. He like pulled it up. We talked. We got in a meeting like a week later. And boom, we ended up getting endorsed by Post Malone right after X, 3 months later. And so Post Malone took that product on his tour. We did the Stony tour in 2017. I went to Oklahoma City, a couple different cities and stuff. And then, pretty much from 2017 to the end of 2019, end of 2017 to the end of 2019, so about 2 years, Post Malone was like my regular, that was like my main client. So we'd come up with all these new collections. Shout out to Dre London, his manager, you know, we were tapped in, and they brought my products on to one of the biggest tours of 2019 called the Runaway Tour, where it was 50 shows, 50 states, 50 stadium shows. So this was like a whole different ball game than what I was used to. Yeah. So they were getting like 200-300 shirts from me every show, and we actually started getting into hoodies. For those that actually were, you know, botany hoodies, shout out to you guys if you guys went to any of the shows. But they were super dope. It expanded from just the pocket tee to like one of my favorite products was like, it was a yellow hoodie with black barbed wire going through the whole thing for Beer Bongs and Bentleys, his album.
Oh, that's fire.
And then he had the face, it was like a pocket hoodie. So like I got to make like, I didn't really see any hoodies with like the pocket t-shirt. Like imagine like a regular pocket t-shirt, but instead it's a hoodie. had his face on it with the yellow and the black barbed wire and shit like that.
So my question to you is, coming from working in a garage trying to get this brand going to a year later working with Post Malone, X, and all these artists, I mean, your lifestyle changed and it was a dramatic moment for y'all. And so, like, what was your mom like? What was your parents? What were people saying? Like, you guys are on tour with celebrities, all these artists. What are people saying?
Man, I mean, like, it was crazy, man, you know, because like I said, everybody at the beginning wasn't really rocking with it. And then once all that stuff was happening, you know, I was young, so I kind of like found out how people truly are, you know. So like I noticed that everybody was like trying to dick ride me. Like everybody was like, that's how people are in a small town. Like if someone is like doing something crazy like that, everyone was like all the girls that turned me down in high school, all my homies that were like my friends they used to make, they were all on my dick, like, yo bro, like this and that, the third, you know. So I kind of saw how fake everything was. But and I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. Like that shit was hard because I was only 19 and being exposed to that type of lifestyle at that age, man, I went down the wrong path. Let's just say that. Like I was exposed to, like, you know, the hip hop lifestyle and on tour, like the shit that they were doing, like drugs and all this stuff like that, you know. So I got lost in that for a little bit, you know. So I was it took a toll on me for a sec, you know. I came back a different person type thing, you know.
A different person. Did you feel like you were more humbled, or did you feel like you were like cocky?
No, I was not humbled at the time. I was 19. I just made the most money. I was with Post Malone, all these people on their tour. Like, I came back like thinking I was them type shit. Like,
really?
Yeah. Like I came back like bought diamonds, bought fucking like my first like watch, off lean, doing all type of shit. My parents were like, "Yo, this is not the man that I knew before."
What?
Before you got into this shit. So it got into me, and it got into my head. Like I just was.
So that's like what it's like to be on like an artist on tour. Like they're just
at the time, you know, it just depends. Everybody goes through a different story, you know, and I'm thankful now looking back that's how it went down. Because like, you know, people go through this at different times. Some people when they're like super rich already, and then they start falling out, you just find them like doing drugs and doing all this shit and like, you know, getting off the path and shit like that. So we talked a lot about the past, but this is how it changed, right? Yeah. So towards the end of 2019 is when I ended up saying, you know what am I doing in Seattle, Washington? That's what I asked myself.
Dude, Seattle, Washington, I've heard from every single person, is so depressing.
Dude, yeah,
it's
especially when you're trying
nothing,
to do that.
Yeah,
like I was looking, I was like, dude, first of all, I don't even kick it with anybody here.
I couldn't even
my
imagine.
Family. I'm like, I'm connected with Post Malone, all these people. Like, I'm just like, what am I doing in Seattle, Washington? So I just, I ended up, which is crazy, I ended up doing like a merchandise collab with Rolling Loud, everything into my bag, and said, fuck Washington.
And you left.
And I moved to LA. I didn't even tell anyone.
What did you go with him?
Not at that time. No.
Oh, you were staying.
Yeah.
So you said.
I didn't even know he left.
Really?
Yeah.
He just left. You just packed your bags and left.
I left, dude.
No, I knew he was going to Eugene, Oregon to visit my oldest brother.
Yeah.
But then he didn't tell no one he was going to LA because that
I moved, dude. Like
So you had money at the time, right?
No.
Oh,
at this time it was like, dude, the life. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Post Malone's tour, that was like astronomical in terms of numbers. Like 1 month we made like 80,000 just off the tour. But you know, the type of like I put some away, but like that was like money that you don't ever touch, like investments, stuff like that. But like for money that I actually had when I moved to LA, I had nothing.
Really?
Because at that point, all the money that I, you know, thank God that my dad got me to like convince me to save some of my money because he saw what I was doing. I was spending money on chains. I was spending money on lean, all this stuff at that time. Yeah. When I was doing all that stuff, I was spending money goes by quick when you're doing that type of shit. I was renting Teslas and fucking McLarens and shit like that and going out to the bar. Like, I lived in Eugene, Oregon for like 6 months with my older brother, and it's like a college town. So I was partying hard, like buying hella drinks for people at the bar. Just like, I was just in a different world, bro. And it honestly caught up to me, and I was like, so by the time it was end of 2019, it
ran out.
In my wallet, I had nothing.
And so when you came out here, like, how did you survive? Like, what was your mindset being out here for the first time? And I mean, LA is a totally different place than Oregon.
And then I made that decision, made that choice, and by the time I'm looking at the clock, it's like an hour away from LA in the flight. I was like, okay, shit. Started to get nervous for a second. You know, we're all human. And I thought to myself, all right, what's gonna happen? Like, what's the worst that's gonna happen? I don't know where I'm gonna stay. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I do know that I have some connections, yeah, but that's all I know. And I was just like, you know what? If I'm gonna die, one thing about death is destined already. Like, you don't know when you're gonna die, but the Most High knows that. And so I was like, okay, if that's gonna be my death, then there's nothing I can do to change it. So I was like, okay, cool. I'm not gonna die. I knew it. I had a feeling like I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna come out there and, you know, I'm gonna leave everything up to God, and God's gonna take care of me. And so when I got there, that's exactly what happened. I just ended up getting introduced from, it's just a small world, man. It's a small world. I ended up getting introduced to this music duo named Wave Pop. Shout out Wave Pop.
I know who Wave
They're
Pop
my
is,
brothers
yeah.
to death. I love them to death. We met. We hit it off strong. They loved what I could do. They, you know what I'm saying? They were doing some crazy good shit at the time too. So pretty much I ended up moving in with them, living with them right when I got to LA. And, you know, first couple days, obviously, like, you know, I had to figure out some things. You know, I was kind of couch surfing, going to Hollywood Hills parties and shit like that, just from connections that I had. But just meeting them and connecting with them, and just somehow, like, God just lined us up. We hit it off, and I started helping them out with just whatever they had going on with their brand development, marketing. By the time I'm ready, like, by the time it was like mid-January, I moved to LA like very end of 2019. So by the time it was mid-January, I was like living with them over here by the Grove. We were at the broadcast center, and yeah, it's crazy. You know, I was taken care of on that end, and pretty much we ended up all moving into a whole separate house together. It was called the Wave HQ. We moved there in March. It was like a 3-story house in Eagle Rock.
So you moved out when he transitioned the company.
Yeah, basically, yeah. But before we transitioned it, I was helping him with Pocket Star, you know, doing what I needed to do with what I could do at the moment, like content creation, creating mock-ups, visuals, new faces, doing what I needed to do. But as, you know, as COVID hit, I was out there in COVID hit around the same time Black Lives Matter hit, right? Yeah, so I was out there in Seattle, and Black Lives Matter movement came through. So I was like, I have this T-shirt press Taha left me. What should I do? All right, I made one Black Lives Matter T-shirt for myself because I was gonna go to a protest, and I posted it. And then out of nowhere, like 3-4 people hit me. They're like, "Yo, I need one." I was like, "Bet." So I charged them. I made the T-shirts, and then as I kept making them, hella people from my community were peeping. They're like, "Yo, we want to support. Well, how can we get one?" And I was in my garage from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. for like a whole 2-3 weeks while that Black Lives Matter movement was going, driving to different spaces, getting T-shirts, getting all the materials, printing like 200-300 T-shirts in my garage for the Black Lives Matter movement and selling them. I actually ended up donating a lot of the profit to the Black Lives Matter fund in Seattle. It's a freedom fund. So from there, you know, Taha was out here in LA, and I was just watching what he was doing. I was doing my part. Back then, I was always hustling. And then, when I seen like they was getting lit, I was like, I'm gonna come to LA for like 2 weeks. So I came for 2 weeks, and similar story to him.
What he means by getting lit, it's not like, woo, like getting lit. They saw us like getting lit. Like everybody was at their house, COVID-19. Me and Wave Pop and like our
working.
squad were like, we were working, but we were with Pete, like we were at Jake Paul's house parties like every weekend. We were we were all over the place. We were with like Michael Blackson, Roddy Ricch, just Party Next Door, all these different people, and like Danny Lay, and like people. He was just like, damn, like what's going on? This seems like a different world. Like we're in COVID. They're supposed to be in COVID too, but we didn't really take no for an answer.
So transitioning. You guys have a lot of knowledge on marketing and branding, and you've already created 2 successful companies, and Pure's massive now. And so when it comes to marketing, what is you guys' strategies on marketing?
I'd definitely say visual representation is a very important part.
Very true.
Because everything that someone sees has to be like visually appealing, catch their attention. So, you know, it's guaranteed to yield more results for you.
Yeah.
And I would say that for everything that you put out. Now, for us, we make sure that everything we put out is to the T. There's nothing that, like, if someone sees, they'd be like, this is unprofessional. So that's definitely a very important part, because think about it. The first time someone sees your thing might be the only time they see your brand. And if it doesn't catch their attention right then and there, you might never see them again.
Yep. That's some good advice too, you know, for anybody that's, you know, struggling with their brand or even trying to start a brand. You know, you don't want to come off to the public as a startup company. You don't want to, even if you are, you don't want to come off to the public as like someone that just started a brand.
Yeah.
You want to come off to the public as professional as these corporate companies. You want to look professional. That means from your website to your content to every single part about it, your packaging, your bags, your clothing. Everything needs to be to the T in professionalism, because that's what really helps you go far. Because most people, I'll just ask you guys an honest question, like what brand would you rather shop with? Like, would you rather shop with a brand that has very minimal professionalism? What I mean by that is like everything, the content's blurry, it just looks weird. The comments, they got like 3 comments and 5 likes. Or would you rather shop with a company that looks clean, polished, has a clean website, has a professional website, dope clothes and their pictures and their content, even if it's just a simple logo t-shirt, like they look like appealing and they're getting like good engagement. They got 100 comments, 1,000 likes. You know, chances are, I've asked this question to a lot of people, like, you're gonna go with the other one. Yeah. The one that looks appealing.
So does that build trust in a brand?
Yes, that's one thing. You want to establish trust with your potential clients, communities, customers, products. You know, you want to establish that trust. You want your brand, like, you want to be reliable. You get what I'm saying? If people see you as a company, you want to make sure that they feel trusted enough, not only to purchase it and get their product, but not just that. You want them to be able to purchase it and love your product and feel like this is the next big thing.
Yeah.
You want to feel like this is the next big thing. You know, even if you're at 10K followers, 20K followers, whatever it is, you want to feel like the next big thing. That's a big part of it. And that, I guess you could label that as like aesthetics, brand development, brand awareness.
Yeah.
That part is very key to any brand's success.
Yeah. And of course, you have to start at some point. Don't think that I have to have all this ready before I launch I mean, definitely before you launch, but you know, like people, like they try to overthink things. Don't overanalyze it.
I would agree with that.
And like get started at least. Don't waste time. You feel me? Just start working on it, and then once you're ready. For example, like there's this girl that wanted to release a clothing line, and she's been thinking about it for 2 years, and she's been trying to do it. And we finally made her first piece, right? And I tell her, I know you're excited to release it, but if you really do this marketing campaign correctly, you create all the content, the website is on point, everything, when you launch, it's going to yield you a lot more results because the brand is established and it looks a lot more professional than if you were just to go take a picture of the hoodie and post it and say, yo, my brand is out now, go buy, like this, that. Yeah. But people just look at it like she's a girl, she's trying to sell clothing.
Yeah.
But if she does it, if we gonna work together, we're gonna do it the right way to where everything is down to a T. And when she releases, people will be like, "Who's her team? Like, who? Like,
you want people to think that you are not just one person doing this, even if you are."
I think this world is so interesting because like as an influencer, like the marketing and branding is totally different from maybe like the clothing and like building an actual company.
Yeah.
And like obviously you guys have way more knowledge than I do on all this stuff. So I think it's like the similarities are there's like when it comes to like building a personal brand and building like an actual like business, it's too like there's not a lot of similarities when it comes to that, but I could be wrong.
I'd say on the branding side of things, there kind of is though, because like for example, like okay, your TikToks, I've watched some of them. It's a whole different type of vibe, but it's still clear.
HD.
It's like HD, like you're still doing dope shit. You're doing different shit. You're being unique. You get what I'm saying? Like a lot of people want to do that personal brand shit, but you find their picture, first of all, it looks like they took it on like a Android 12S or some shit like that. Their pictures are like trash. I mean, no hate to anybody doing your thing. You're doing your thing. You got to start at a different level, but just know that pictures, everything that you're putting out, you want it to be at least up to par. Like at least like use it on a new iPhone or even an iPhone 12, dude. Like
I definitely put a lot of thought and creativity into whatever you put out.
Purpose in your content too.
Yeah, and for me, like if you look at my Instagram, every single post of mine since when I started, I have like 200 posts. Every single post, I put a lot of thought and detail into what I post.
And be creative too.
I don't just post anything. If something's not up to my standard, if it's not like Instagram worthy on my end, I won't post because I know that's gonna hurt my brand image. Feel me? When I put something out there, I want it to be top of the line, something that's my standard, my quality. Feel me?
Yeah. So you basically learned marketing and branding for like building companies, and throughout that process and journey, you taught yourself on how to brand your personal brand as well.
Yeah.
So like with marketing, I mean, do you think that the best type of marketing is on social media now?
Yeah, definitely. I'd say 90% of your marketing should be on social media. I'd say you still want to keep your. So we were talking a lot about branding. Now that when we step over to marketing, it's a little bit different when it comes to certain things. You want to have the branding, so it's like the product. The branding is to make sure the product will sell, whatever it is. We work with a lot of essential skincare companies, SIE, like restaurants, all sorts of people, and it's all the same thing. Everyone has a product. Even if you're a personal brand, your product is you, not like a physical product. So the branding, once you have your branding on point, that's when you got to market correctly. And when you market correctly, 90% of your marketing should come from social media marketing. The other 10% should be for word of mouth, pop-ups, billboards,
guerrilla marketing,
posters.
My question is, how do you get people to have an emotional connection to your brand?
That's a good question.
Well, you have to, it's the purpose behind your brand. For example, with Pure, we're promoting a positive, pure lifestyle, and the message behind it, it's, it resonates with certain people that, maybe are on the wrong path, but they want to be, they want to live.
Or even people that are on the right path.
On the right path, it resonates with them. So that's how you have an emotional connection with them. You feel me?
You want to have something that, from all point of views, from the designs to the message of the company, whatever it is, you want people to, you want it to feel hit their soul in one way or another. What I mean by that is to say, for example, even personal, like public figures and influencers and stuff like that. You want people to be inspired by you, even if it's even if you have dope, funny content, whatever it is that you do, whatever lane that you are in, you want people to just feel like a connection to you through your content, what they have. Hey, this is, it's a hard world out there. People are going through depression, all sorts of shit. So
exactly,
they could see your videos and just laugh and take them. You could take them out of their darkness for a little bit, bring some sunshine into their world. That itself right there, you're already making that impact. You're already doing that. You know what I'm saying? So different things for different brands, but I think to answer your question, emotional connection, you want to have that purpose, whatever it may be, in your podcast, in your video. I mean, not podcast, but videos, whatever it is, your content, your Instagram, everything you want to have, you want to move with purpose. Cause it's dope. I've seen some really dope brands in the past. They have really dope designs. They have cool material. They even have their branding on point, but, they're kind of lacking on that side of thing. It's kind of just okay, I see this stuff, but I don't feel anything, for some people.
So there's no real reason to be a part. So you're talking about whatever your brand that you're trying to create or individual have a purpose.
Yeah. I also make it like a family,
a community.
Yeah.
If people love to join communities, they want to feel like they're a part of something. So
yeah, and most people are on their phones, not really even doing anything or seeing people these days. So it's for them to feel like they're a part of something. That's what you want. A lot of people want to feel a part of something. That's why if your marketing is on point and you seem like your brand is going to come up any day now, people are going to follow you and buy your stuff from the start because they want to be I was there when they were first blowing up. I was there, I used to buy their stuff. I'm there, and that's another part of it too.
So do you guys look at a lot of brands and you're just when you're we're on Melrose right now, so there's a lot of companies, there's a lot of stores over here, and so even when you're driving down, you just see a lot of people's designs, the people that have pop-up things on the sidewalk. What do you guys think of just random people? Do you just prejudge all of that, or
not really? Honestly, God bless all of them, man.
They're hustling.
That's one thing that right there. I see them out there.
Yeah.
They're trying. Off rip.
Yeah, but I'm talking about prejudge.
For maybe they should
maybe they should do this different. Maybe they should do this different.
Oh yeah, all the time. But I just got to shut myself up sometimes. I'm just come in.
Sometimes we shut we just we let them do their thing, but most of the time we approach them and let them know what we do, so we can provide that to them. Now a lot of brands that are doing that, they don't have the budget to do that. Now they're doing what they can. So
automatically I like if I see anyone out there with their pop-up or doing what they can to chase their dreams, I'm gonna try and come support. I'm gonna try and come buy a t-shirt, even if I'm not gonna wear it. I'm still gonna come try and show love, support, because we were all there. I'm never gonna be arrogant about that. I always think, but I do automatically when I meet someone's brand, it's takes me 10, 20 seconds, and I'll know what's good with your brand. If you guys if this is gonna be I'm not gonna say I determine destiny, you guys are gonna blow up or something. No. I'm gonna say, okay, this is on the right track, or you guys got to do some work. Pretty much, I'll know. So a lot of times, depending, I'll always offer our services and have them, follow us. And if they ever are interested, they can make an inquiry on our website. But, even we do give a lot of free game out too. But I just tend not to give too much out because that's our time and our time is value, and we learned and we had to do a lot to learn this stuff.
I had given someone some free game, and the next day I see him trying to do it, and I'm like, you didn't do it right.
Yeah.
He's just trying to do it without me because I gave him some free game.
Yeah, so the thing is, like, you guys have been doing it for like a hella long, and when people see the prices that you charge, someone from an outside perspective that don't understand marketing and branding and your skills that took 10, 15 years to even learn and stuff, people be like, oh, like, why is that so much money? Like, even you take, for example, like a tattoo artist, like they could do a tattoo on you for an hour, charge you $1,000, $500, whatever it is, because of the amount of skill and time that it took. And this is a whole different profession. Exactly. Like the advice that you could give to someone helping out the brand, I have no idea. And it could be different from like a personal brand when it comes to like TikTok. You know what I mean? Yeah. So like there's all different types of levels to it. And I totally understand, like, maybe people take your game and they try and use it, but that's just life, everyone tries to get some gain from people and use it as in leverage and try and benefit off of themselves,
of course. And we always want to educate, too, like we always want to educate. But the reason why I kind of said that was because you never know with people. Like some people, like I'm always going to give free game, but some people get offended. That's the reason why I don't do it a lot, is because a lot of people have like, egos and shit like that. So when you tell them some stuff about their brand, they're like, nah, I got everything under control, G, or some shit like that. I'm like, bro, I wasn't trying to sell you anything. I don't even, like, I just want to put something for you to think about. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
And so coming from nothing, I came from nothing as well. And so I think like financial education is like a big thing. Yeah. For right now, I've been like teaching myself a lot about financial education, and you just in being in this industry, you have to learn it.
Of course,
it's something important. And so, what's like some advice for someone that's starting a brand that is trying to come up with the funds? They're a hustler, but they spend money like it's water.
Yeah. So
that's you did like before, because you had a brand. Yeah. But what if you took that money that you were making, or spending on jewelry and all that stuff, but you reinvested into your company? Yeah. Where would you be still? Like, would you be farther and everything? Like, what's some advice?
I definitely believe some advice when you're first starting out, to get your LLC, get a business credit card. When you first start off, I'd put all the funds that you're spending on your business credit card to make everything that you're going to be selling. And then once you start selling it, you're selling it for profit, obviously. So you're making that money back. You pay that credit card off, and now you're left with the profit. And you can keep that motion going.
But that sounds good and all, but that's not the realistic situation for most people. I know for me, for sure, when I first started my business, most people either don't have credit score or they have a shitty credit score. That's the real reality of people. Yeah. If you have your credit score on point, man, congratulations. Kudos to you. That is something big. I wish I would have learned something like that in high school. Like credit is a big thing. But for people that don't have that, or want to work towards that, the best thing for you to do is two things, right? First thing is really, really to have a real talk with yourself and understand how I have this dream, I have this vision. How dedicated am I truly to my dream and to my vision? Am I dedicated enough to change my lifestyle and put some money away? Am I dedicated enough to even invest that money, or any money, $100 into my company? Am I? Because every company, you're going to need to invest in yourself some way or another. You get what I'm saying? And so, like, you want to think about it. Like, when I first started, like, I got that job and I put every single dollar into my company to start off. You get what I'm saying? So it's like, if you are in this position where you want to start a brand, I would highly recommend doing whatever you got to do to make your income and save it. Maybe make those adjustments. If you're out living lavish and doing all this stuff, adjust for a little bit and understand, be patient, and in the future, you can go back to that, but for that time being, you want to really understand, is this brand really worth it to me? Is it worth the money? Is it worth the value? And if you really love your brand and you care about it, you will, put some money aside, let it stack up a little bit. It could be anything. Just put 100, 200, 300, whatever it is, until finally you look back and you're like, wow, I have $5,000 that I can invest into my company, and then put it in the right places. A lot of people, this is one mistake, because, you know, of course we work in brand development marketing, but we own our own factory here in LA. And so we work a lot with clothing brands. Dominantly, probably 70% of our clients are clothing brands or have merch. They might be a different brand, but they have merch. So one thing that we noticed too is a lot of people will go through and purchase, you know, they come through with, like, say they did save that $5,000 and they come and spend all of that money on merch, and they get like 150 custom super intricate pieces, like not some blanks or something, just like some super custom cut and sew pieces, right? And then they find themselves with all that stuff stuck at home, like just in the boxes, like they're not selling it. So they just feel like it's a waste. Off rip, like I would change, it's all about adapting. There's no real failures in life. It's about lessons. Learn your lesson. That's what it's about in business. You might notice that a certain way is not working. So change, make adaptations till finally you find the way. That's also a big thing. If you ask anybody in digital marketing, is like in the marketing space, is like marketing isn't just about making money and selling stuff. Marketing is also about learning how to adapt and different tactics. Some people started off with Instagram, now they do TikTok marketing, whatever it is. You find out what works best for you and you do it. You have to do that by trying. You might fail a lot. There's no failures, but you might, you know, things might not go as planned, but eventually you'll find that right route for you, because for every brand it's different. In terms of their tactics or how they want to go about promoting something. So I would recommend taking a step back, investing that money that you were going to invest into your product into actually marketing and branding to get that stuff on point, and, you know, actually do a pre-order method instead. Something like that is another method you could use, is where, you know, for some of our customers, what we do is we'll go ahead and do their, like one of our packages, what it looks like is it comes with the social media, like growing your social media, the engagement, comes with content creation. We'll create that content for you the right way. Comes with your website to match the content, to match the products. Everything kind of goes and coexists together. And then it comes with sample clothing. So we give them like a 10-piece sample kit. And what they'll do is they'll get these nice samples of their products that they created, that they have ideas for. And they'll go use those for purposes of photo shoots. They'll go take the photos. They'll go, like, you know, give them out to influencers and stuff and start promoting the product. They'll put the product on their website as a pre-order campaign. And so it's like, hey, pre-order this product, you know, limited edition product. And they didn't even spend any money on those hoodies, except for technically they did in that package, but it's not like they bought 100 hoodies just to do that, you know? So now what they're doing is now customers are purchasing the product under a pre-order, and now when they come to us, they actually know, hey, 50 hoodies, I need 50 hoodies, exactly. And they're actually using that, not with their own money, but with the money that they made through the pre-order campaign. So it's a super, it's very different than traditional merchandise and selling, but that's something that if you can do it right, if you know, work with us or whoever it may be that can help with the branding and marketing side of things, we'll guarantee that you do sell at least, you know, a good amount of hoodies, so you can come back to us without your own money that's in your own pocket and purchase the hoodies in bulk and try to flip them and sell them out of your car and stuff like that.
Yeah. So, you know, wrapping this up, where do you guys see yourself in 3 months? Where you trying to take your company? Where you trying to take yourself personally?
Yeah, so we're continually expanding. We've recently just expanded into another warehouse out here in LA, right next door to our first warehouse. So we're just gonna keep growing the business, eventually a bigger factory. In the next 3 months, you know, just keeping the consistent path that we're on, getting these orders out, keeping up with client connection, making sure we're doing great business, you know, and providing value for our clientele.
Yeah, definitely. Just the next 3 months, like he said, we're going to stay on the path that we're on. We're at the best point ever in business right now. You know, got a lot of different, you know, a lot of clients, a lot of customers, a lot of even big companies that we can't even really say because we are under an NDA, but like very big companies. So we're just going to stay consistent, stay disciplined, stay working. I guess personal goals for us in the next 3 months, we do have Ramadan coming in like a month from now. So we're about to go on a 30-day fast. Where it's like you don't eat or drink anything from sunrise to sunset. So it's going to be from 5 a.m. to 7 p.m. every day for 30 days.
Yeah, no food, no water.
Yep, from 5 a.m.
That's
to
crazy.
7 p.m. Hell yeah.
But it teaches you patience, you feel me?
Teaches you patience. It cleans your body. It helps people get that second chance. It detox a lot of people.
Clear.
Like it's crazy, man. It's amazing. It also teaches you to be really thankful for what you got. When I eat that first meal, like 7 p.m., I'm just like, thank God. Like, wow, like, I used to like eat food and not even care. Now it's like, wow, some people really don't have food in the world. you know, so it really teaches you a lot. And it's just a self-discovery and connecting you with the Most High the whole month. So we're excited for that. It's going to go from March 22nd to about April 22nd. So it's coming up. We only got like another month of enjoying things the way we do now. But yeah, that. And then, you know, we got probably a few other big events like that we're going to be a part of in the next few months. We're both going to be working a lot more on things like this, like public appeal. We've been so focused on the business side of things. So you guys are going to see more from us. You're going to see more vlogs, more podcasts, more press. You know, our goal is to be on Forbes in the next 3 months. So hopefully, you know, everything's in the hands of the Most High, but we're hoping, yeah, we will be. I'm hoping to be on Forbes in the next 3 months and, you know, just trying to expand brand awareness as much as possible. It's all about levels, man. You know, like a lot of people get focused on the big picture, which is it's good to like visualize like, you know, you and like the end goal, end result. But you want to just focus on where you're at right now, currently. Really think to yourself and be realistic. Where am I right now? How can I get, and be thankful and grateful for where you're at, because where you're at and where I'm at was not the same 3 years ago or 2 years ago or a year ago. You're getting better. As long as you're pursuing, you're always getting better. So in order to really help yourself even get better to where you're at right now, look at the level you're at right now and think, what can I do to get just a bit better or just to that next level? And do those things regularly and start incorporating them. And you'll notice that as time goes, you weren't stagnant. You're already ahead of where you were. And you keep working those levels until one day you look back and you're like, holy shit.
You know, if the journey is the goal, then you've already had success. You know, if you let the destination be the goal, it's not how it is. You know, you got to enjoy
That's
the
some
journey.
wisdom. Modey had to
Wow,
drop some wisdom on us.
that's just good. I like that. I like that.
That's some wisdom.
Damn.
Man. Yes, sir. That's some real facts, man. Like the journey, people are so focused on the destination that they get distracted from the journey. You know, if you let the journey be the goal, then you're having the success now, and then the success in the future is going to be even bigger, and you're going to really know truly, one, you're going to get there, and two, you're going to actually feel like grateful for it.
Amazing.
You know,
amazing way to end the podcast.
Hell yeah,
well,
hell yeah.
Thank you guys for coming on.
Of course,
sir.
man. We appreciate you, man. Appreciate the good vibes. You know what I'm saying? We wish you the best of this year too. We're gonna stay connected, stay tapped in. Anything you need, we got you, man.
Appreciate it.
Oh,
Mango
yes,
outs.
Peace. Brothers out.